What? Oh, am I mudded or no? I think I'm good. What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's charting session. Today is Sunday, January 22nd, 2025. I'm going to be going over this week's price action. I ended up taking 2 trades this week. I got actually 3 trades. 2 were break even, 2 wins. And let's get into it. All right, so coming into the week, there was kind of a mixed bias, right? Because when we went into last week's charting, I said I really wanted to see these daily equal lows as a draw on liquidity. Now, the daily equal lows here, now let's just go into Monday, right? Because I wanted this to be the draw for Monday. But we weren't really getting any displacement towards those daily equal lows. Now, you can have a draw on liquidity, but that draw on liquidity is not going to be valid really until you start seeing displacement and start seeing price action that supports that idea, right? So I wasn't seeing any of that during Asia session. I actually wanted to see a London manipulation on this specific day. I remember I was saying I want to see London manipulation and then New York continuation. The signal was already there, bro. I said full port shorts at Asia Open. If you didn't do that, then you're fried and you're not a millionaire like me. All right, so we should all be millionaires here. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Anyways, again, so what's it called? This I want to see, but we obviously didn't get that. So I then sort of flipped bias to having a bullish draw on this day. Now coming into this day, we ended up having. I'll show you guys. This is. Oh wait, why does it keep doing that, bro? Okay. So this day, if we just open up the daily bias channel, what about trading psychology? Yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything, guys, it's the time to ask. This is charting session. So I said I was bullish on the lower time frame, but I was bearish on the higher time frame. Again, the reason I was bearish was because of those daily equal lows. So because this 1 hour inverted, I was then expecting that 1 hour gap that I showed previously. I was then expecting the 4 hour intermediate high, and then from there potentially a sell off. This week was really weird because we didn't end up hitting this draw on liquidity until freaking Juneteenth, like a bank holiday. So super odd. And I actually think the 2 best days this week to trade was the morning of FOMC, which is I did trade the morning of FOMC. And I didn't trade Juneteenth, but it actually was clean price action. I would never trade a bank holiday, but yeah, anyways, because those daily equal lows got hit on Juneteenth. So bullish on the lower time frame, right? So that's what I want to see. I want to see price trade lower into a 15-minute gap and then go higher towards that 4 hour intermediate high. Or if we go higher at first, then we can take shorts, whatever. So we ended up having a really nice setup. So this is the long I was looking to take. Now this didn't end up being valid because we didn't take out the internal high, but I'll show you guys what it looked like. We ended up having low resistance liquidity. We then had a 930 Judas lower, and then just a perfect inversion, like a perfect gap here to invert. Obviously no perfect inversion because it just took all of our draws, and yeah, there was just a Drake candle. So a little bit frustrating, but this is really the only setup I saw this day. This was an A+ setup, even though it didn't trigger, but it was still an A+ setup and still is something to note that if this were to trigger, this would be A+. And yeah, this is the trade I was looking to take this day. After that, I was literally done for the day because there's nothing else I wanted to see because we kept displacing higher. And at this point in time, we didn't see any displacement to the downside, and it was just a pretty slow chop up until that buy side liquidity up there got hit. So yeah. Do you guys have any questions about this day? When trading PM session, New York session highs and lows are strong draws. Yeah, it is. They are strong draws, yes. Time-based liquidity is always strong draws. I got you, Doug. What do you think about trades where the 5-minute high low for value opportunity recently want to go tip before you trade? So yeah, if price hits my break even before the inversion happens, then I won't take the setup. My break even here was actually like here, so I was looking to get break even here. It depends. I know some people they trade like break even like here and like super tight risk and stuff like that. I'm a little bit looser on my break evens, I think. I do, yeah, a little bit looser on my break evens, but this is just like it literally took like my TP, so. Yeah, market maker models are important, yes. I'd say watch the video by Dan Dow. It's a good video on it. Would you say you have strong draws since they hold? Yes, exactly. 1300. Hey, let's go, Diego. Congrats, G. This was a 30-second. This is a 1-minute play. But, yeah. Is the free trading view enough? I don't think you can get like indicators the free, and no, I think you need that subscription. Didn't you take a break even short? Oh yeah, I did take a short this day. Thank you for reminding me, bro. I actually totally forgot about the short. So I did try to take a reversal play because we had a bunch of unmitigated gaps on this day. Damn, I totally forgot about this play, yeah. So 2 break evens this week I had. Now, if we look at this, right, we have 2 unmitigated gaps here, this 15-minute, this 15-minute, and we have also this buy side. And then we also had this unmitigated small little gap here, which is another 15-minute. Hard to see, but it still is a fair value gap. No matter the size, guys, size doesn't matter, all right? Fair value gaps are still a fair value gap, okay? So the short I ended up taking, I believe it was around here. I think it was a 5-minute short, but then I wanted to wait for more confirmation. So it ended up being a retest here of the 5-minute, and then I took this inversion here. So I went short here, and then it was a pretty fast break even play. It was a stop loss like here, and then I went break even at this 15-minute, and I was trying to hold to the discounted 15-minute. Pretty good play. Just ended up being a break even. It was a very obvious like break even. You know, like I knew it would at least go to this 15-minute. I just wanted to see us maybe go to discount. But yeah, I was looking to see like 10 a.m. reversal, but we ended up just kept displacing for the rest of the day. So that was that. Can you go over the inverse at 10:36? Yeah, that was like the play I took. What do you think of Fridays? Yeah, we can go over Friday when we get to Friday. What do you think about this short? Let's see it. 2 p.m. What day is this? Well, I can just see. Let's see. We have sell side here, equal lows. Looks like we trade into some sort of gap. Short, and then you get stopped out by a stop loss of, I don't really know, but it looks like this is probably like a 5-minute gap. Yeah, this looks good. Just stop loss at the high. I don't know why your stop loss is here. You should put your stop loss at the high here. But overall, this is a good setup, yeah. Nice. All right, let's move on to Tuesday. All right, so this was Monday. So Tuesday, Pat ended up banking on this day. I ended up getting a break-even trade again, which was frustrating because my draw was right, and no, it wasn't greed or whatever. But before you guys say anything, this was like, you know, my model, and it was a setup I was really, really confident in draw and liquidity-wise. So when I have a really strong draw on liquidity and I'm super confident towards it, I will hold until that. And yeah. Ended up being a break even, and then it ran straight to my TP, so it was a little bit it was pretty unfortunate, but we'll get into it. All right, so this day was, can anyone tell me what the profile of this day was? Seek and destroy, right? Exactly, okay. So for those of you that don't know what seek and destroy is, it is when London session takes out both Asia highs and lows, right? So London session is from 2 to 5 a.m., right? Asia session is from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., right? And you can see that London ended up taking out both its highs and lows. Now, what you can then expect for New York and for pre-market, whatever, is for that to take out London lows. And if it takes out London lows, then you can expect it to go to the highs. If it takes out the highs first, then you can expect it to go into the lows. Now we can see that pre-market ended up going and taking out London lows. So at this point, I ended up saying I was bullish bias. I'll show you guys the daily bias on this day. Now, I was bullish because we had seek and destroy conditions, right? And we had, 1 hour OB, respecting this 4 hour BISI, all that stuff to confirm that bias to go higher, right? So very, very obvious draw this day. And we can go into open because there also was 8:30 news and a data high candle even confirming that, right? So there was some sort of long setup, nowhere here. But we ended up making these kind of relative equal highs with London highs. So in these types of conditions, you can expect whenever we take like a buy side to do stuff like this. Like we take buy side, we run back lower. We take buy side, and run back lower. And then we take buy side, and it literally just looks like that where we're just running stop losses all day. So that's what ended up happening on this day in specific. We ended up running stops, and we took out these stops here. We took out this data high. And at this point, I was still bullish, right? So we ended up sweeping out this low, and we ended up having us hold this 30-minute BISI, right? So we were inside of this 30-minute bullish gap, and we had London highs being the main draw on this day. Now, there was, I saw there was a lot of people asking me, like, you're still taking this even though we had an SMT. So we had an SMT at this high. Another question, guys, why did I still take this trade when there was an SMT right here? And I still ended up taking the long. London was the draw, right? Overall bullish, right? Because this SMT, and we have a video coming out about like this. Oh, wow. There he is.
Yo, what's up? Does my mic
work? What's up?
Does my mic work?
You sound like slightly gay. Like you sound like gayer than usual.
It's because I just drank a probiotic shake.
That's so cute, baby.
Okay, go on, bro.
What'd you say?
My mic is tripping out, autocorrect and shit.
So
just go
weird,
on, bro.
Autocorrecting.
Just go on!
Okay, so those of you that said the draw was higher and that London highs was the draw, you are correct, right? So we ended up having this SMT, but again, I do not care about lower time frame internal SMTs that are not at my draw on liquidity, which is London highs on this day, okay? Because we were in seek and destroy conditions, London highs the draw. So this ended up getting, I ended up entering on the 2-minute close, I believe, this 2-minute IFEG, and then I ended up taking this to this liquidity pool here, and I ended up getting break even on this trade, and then I ended up running to my draw. Unfortunate, but yeah, that was this day for Tuesday. After that, I was done trading on this day. I didn't trade PM or anything because it wasn't anything I liked. But yeah, that was it for this day. We ended up just chopping for the rest of the day, which is what I expected. Do you guys have any questions about this day? What are your thoughts on the 4-minute short? I don't love it. I mean, it's not like my favorite play, just because with seek and destroy conditions, you just want to be targeting like that session liquidity, and then like if there's no clear draw after that, and you're just doing internal max after that, it's just like not the best. I don't think it was a bad play though, but I don't know. Seek and destroy means that you specifically want London highs after taking London lows and vice versa. Yes. All right. So I'm going to get into now Wednesday. Now I did end up taking a trade on Wednesday. That was the day, but that was the morning of FOMC. So we'll get into it. And I didn't post this on the story or anything because I know the signal bots would have killed themselves. So, but I know a lot of people did end up taking this. I did say it in the trading chat. So this was the idea. All right. So this day in specific was a very obvious draw higher. Reasoning for that was because we had this internal sell side liquidity right here, being this 15-minute intermediate low, right? Which is this also an hourly intermediate low. Right, and then overall we were delivering from a 4-hour gap to the left of us here, right? And at this point in time, we also had just a very obvious draw here, being this 1-hour intermediate high inside this gap. So playing conditions here was what I was looking to do, and I really wanted to get in longs here at the beginning. I didn't end up getting into this first long. That there was just really was like no entry. This leg was too much. I was looking to see some sort of move like this, and then this, and then this. You know, I didn't get the best RR on this trade, and I didn't hold up until this buy side here. I got around a 1-to-1, and then I closed, but I'll still show you guys the trade. Now, the idea here was maybe a 2-minute. I mean, you could have taken like a very discretionary play here by maybe just taking like this 2-minute, because draw was higher, and overall like we had a very obvious V-shaped recovery, right? So the V-shaped recovery was very yeah. And from here it was just simply a continuation model. Now the continuation model is just when we don't take out our buy side liquidity, we maybe leave relative equal highs or relative equal lows, and then we trade back into a 5-minute or 15-minute gap, and then we get some sort of lower time from inversion, right? So that's exactly what we did. We ended up, taking out this first level buy side, but my main draw on liquidity, which was higher here, didn't end up getting taken. So we ended up trading back lower. We had a bullish 5-minute fair value gap here. We ended up hitting that, and then we got a beautiful 1-minute inversion out of that, and I ended up taking this for about a 1-to-1 to this buy side. This did end up ripping for more RR, around a 2.4, but my overall close, the close on this trade, and just usually with continuation models, like you're not going to get the best RR, and I guess best entry is what I'm trying to say. And most of the time it's going to be a break even. And I mean, it didn't get me break even if I would have gone break even, but yeah, overall was just a good play. That is that. Do you guys have any questions about this day? And then there was obviously FOMC in the PM, and I didn't trade this shit because it was just looked awful, and I already took my trade for the day. But yeah, I mean, this was just like pretty horrendous price action. I don't think there was anything to take on this day. Like there was really like no draw. But yeah. I took that long to the next liquidity pool, and it hit break even. Exactly what I just talked about the entry wise. So a lot of people take the second 5-minute, and the V-shaped recovery is just valid. So a lot of people take the second 5-minute. How do you even enter on this? There's no entry on this. Unless you want to enter your... Nah, that's not valid at all, no. You can do the wick, you can do the body, just depending on, there's literally like a 2-point difference. It's not really that big of a deal here. If you were to take a trade during PM after FOMC, yeah, usually I wait for 2:30. Four-minute short was clean. Let's see, around 320. So already, like this time, I'm not liking. I don't know if this hits or not, but I'm already not liking like time on this play.
When was this?
Someone just wants me to go over 4-minute at 320.
It's a PM side. Oh, it's a PM trade.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, but I forgot this was a FOMC, right? Okay. I actually don't think this was like a horrible play. I think just PM overall on this day was really just like price action in general, and FOMC meeting minutes was really bad. Like this is just not good price action. But I don't think this was a bad play. I think the reason this failed though was because there was an SMT at this low. Can anyone tell me? I don't want to check. I'm pretty sure there's an SMT at this low though, no? There wasn't? Okay. Then this was a good play. I think it was a pretty good loss, but you should also be able to start recognizing market conditions, and if you see something like this, you just should be getting off, right? Now, like mechanically, this is like a good play. We tapped into a 5-minute. We still have sell side down here. highest time frame inversion in the leg, but just being able to recognize conditions and is just gonna save you so much more. Yeah. All right, let's get into Thursday now. Thursday again was just a bank holiday, so I don't really need to go over it, but the daily equal lows has been the draw on liquidity all week. If you guys just look at the previous charting session, and if you guys also just want to look at the daily bias channel, I was talking about those daily equal lows for a minute, and unfortunately they ended up just wanting to get hit during fucking Juneteenth bank holiday, which is unfortunate, but yeah, super unfortunate that got hit during a bank holiday, but that's that. I mean, there's really nothing else from there. Surprisingly, really clean delivery, like extremely clean delivery to that. Yeah, we'll go into Friday now. Only one setup on this day. Okay. So Friday was a very obvious setup. Okay. We can get into this day. All right. So, and specifically, we had this previous day high as a draw on liquidity, right? So, you can play again either range here. Either we start to see displacement above previous day high, you can then take longs or maybe continuation. We either sweep previous day high, we start seeing displacement lower, then you can take shorts, Mac model, or you can take a long towards this previous day high draw on liquidity, right? That's the plays that I was looking at. And first off, we ended up getting just that strong displacement towards previous day high with very minimal retrace, right? So there was no real setup here for me to take a long. So at this point, I was looking for a short, and there was a 2-minute here that didn't end up triggering. We then ended up getting a resweep of the high. And then at this point, there was another setup here, but then it didn't trigger again. Another sweep of the high. And then there was an inversion here, but this inversion ended up hitting this other fair value gap, and it was also equal lows here. So I waited to see more displacement through this, and then once we got the close there, then we also had a CISD. All that aligned. This is the short setup here. Could have taken this towards all the way down here. I liked the 930 wick as a draw on liquidity. This 930 wick here as a draw on liquidity. But definitely could have taken it towards this unfilled 15-minute gap as well down here. There was also another unfilled 15-minute gap all the way down here, depending on, how you like trading and your R and all that. But this was overall a freaking banger setup. Only setup really I saw on this day. Because after that, I was really done, but I was just looking for maybe like a continuation, but there was nothing. But yeah, do you guys have any questions about this day? Texas sun. There was a 4-hour intermediate high right above. Does that affect anything? So I was looking at the overall, previous day high here. I did see that we had this 4-hour intermediate high. This was the Tuesday high, that 10 a.m. high, right? Now, again, when we're looking to see if this draw on liquidity is going to be a valid draw on liquidity, you need to always be looking at specifically, Specifically, you need to be looking at if we are going to have displacement towards there, or if we are going to have, a condition be invalidated. So, for example, here we had previous day high, right? The condition here is going to be what? All these fair value gaps in this leg, right? If we are going to be bullish and continue trading higher past previous day high and towards higher draws on liquidity, like this draw, like this draw, like this draw, you want to see these fair value gaps hold, and you want to see us have more displacement higher. We didn't get that, right? We ended up sweeping highs and not getting displacement above highs. We ended up, what the fuck did I just click? Right, so that's what you always need to be asking yourself and giving yourself after significant liquidity pools are taken. If you're thinking that we might go to other liquidity pools, always be giving yourself conditions to play off of. Okay. Where should we have gone break even? I didn't go break even on this play. I just held it. When you scale some at break even, I don't scale usually at break even or not. I usually just hold unless I have like a super confident draw on liquidity lower or higher. I'll hold and I'll take profits and I'll do that, but usually not. Can you go over a 5-minute short at 10:20? Yeah, sure. 10:20. I didn't see any plays I liked after that, honestly. Yeah, this is like not a good short. Oh, there's an SMT here. 10:14 high. Even then, though, SMT doesn't really mean much unless like ES hit a gap. Nah, not like my favorite play. Nah, I don't really like this at all. Even though it worked, it's not like a good setup. Just because we are not displacing, we didn't hit a gap, right? So when I'm looking at continuation models, I'm always looking to see if we hit some sort of like 5-minute or 15-minute for rally gap to then send price lower. Usually with these 1 minutes and we leave like, you know, intermediate highs here and these gaps here, I want to see those get hit. But since we did already hit this gap here, and then we got that displacement lower, I guess it wasn't necessary for us to go back towards that high, but it's usually better safe than sorry to at least wait for a lower time from liquidity sweep, align with the model. What do you think about the 10:05 continuation? So is there like some sort of 30-second? Yeah, so there's no model here because we hit a 5-minute gap, but there's no for value gap to get inverted here. Why would I enter on the 2-minute, on the 1 minute if the highest time for inversion is the 2-minute? Are you saying for this trade here? Because I don't see a 2-minute. I don't really know exactly what setup you're talking about. Can you tell us how you should move after the US bombed Iran? Really should be, I mean, I'm currently looking at, yeah, we're literally getting that knee-jerk reaction now. Honestly, bro, like, going to be very risk-off tomorrow because a 300-point move, depending on if we have a new week opening gap or not. And also, I mean, Iran could say anything they want and even, like, retaliate, right? And that's going to affect the market. So just always be on the lookout for news, especially during times like this, during, like, war. That short happened after we inverted the last 15-minute SIBI. Wouldn't you be bullish? Yeah, so the reason I wasn't bullish here after we inverted a bullish for rally gap, can anyone tell me why I'm not bullish here after we got like an inversion of some sort of bullish for rally gap here? Yeah, we have an SMT with previous day high first, and the drawn liquidity also already got hit, right? So this is your drawn liquidity. Not only do we have an SMT here, right, but our draw on previous day high got hit. So any gaps here that got inverted or any gaps wherever, it doesn't matter, right? I'm looking at this draw on liquidity, and that's it. Why would you not wait for the 5-minute gap in this trade? The 5-minute gap. What 5-minute gap? All the way down here? Because this is like not even like an entry model. This is just not valid. You don't need to wait for this. This is a separate leg. This is like your draw on liquidity. You don't need to wait. You don't need to wait for this. This is not the highest time frame in this leg. This is the highest time frame in this leg. Different legs. Long's at 11:04. Okay, let's see. 11:04. Is there an SMT at this low? It's alright. not like my favorite long. What about the equal highs that ES left? I don't believe ES left equal highs on this day. I think there was just an SMT with previous day high. There's actually an SMT here. Can you review the 2-minute long? Yeah, just went over that, yeah. So I need to look at lower time. So identifying trading legs is just your swing highs and swing lows, guys. So, for example, here we have a high, we have a low, then we have another high, then we have another low, we have another high, we have another low. Right, so in scenarios like this, if we had like a cleaner leg, then you could take this inversion and then go break even at like this low. But since we ended up closing below here, then I'm looking now at this, and now break even would be here. Right? And highest time frame in these legs. I thought you said the conditions to use were 5 and 15 minutes, so I didn't think we were fully bearish yet to at least invert. Yeah, that makes sense, but again, it's just based off of conditions of the highest time frame in these legs, right? So you don't need to be waiting specifically for a 5 or 15 minute all the time, especially if we have everything aligned, like an SMT at previous day high, and then highest time frame inversion in these legs, right? So as long as the inversion is still in the highest time frame in the current trading legs, then that's all right. Should we still expect to go all-time highs? Again, with war news, man, it's gonna be very volatile, and the market's gonna move based off of that. I am probably going to be bullish though, yes, because that's usually what happens with the war news is we have some sort of dump, and then we have that reaction back up, and then a lot of people get scared, get faked out, and then panic sell, and then we'll have that video back up. They'll have that delivery back up. So that 1 minute displacement was enough. Maybe should have waited for more. Yeah, you definitely did overthink in my opinion. I don't think I had a very strong draw on liquidity towards this 930 low. We had accumulation lows. Daily profile was selling us lower. Everything for me was selling lower. And I mean, that's the thing though. If you don't have confidence in it, that's just something you need to build on. And yeah, that's it. When you're saying Judas, do you mean just manipulation? Yeah. Yeah, we have Mac models, discretionary, PI, continuation models. Yes, sir. Isn't it bad when pre-market has a huge pump or dump? Yeah, it depends. If the draw on liquidity gets hit pre-market, typically if it's like a 500 point move or something, pre-market's usually not going to be the best price action. Depending on how you play it though. I mean, if we have like a beautiful 10 a.m. open high or 9:30 open high, Judas swing, and price action still looks clean, then you can still trade it, but you just always have to be reactive to conditions. And for example, let's say this idea ended up here, maybe did something like this, and then just stopped me out or something like that. Then it's just conditions would not be probable and not be high probability to keep trading. But it was very clean conditions on this day. Yeah, exactly. Always be reacting to what price tells you. y'all increase risk when building a buffer? I do, yeah. I didn't really see a long on 9:30 this day, but yeah. There's no real setup on this day for me. Been profit this week and last week following rules, helping and chill my set week. I mean, if you're doing that good on demo, then definitely get yourself a funded account and start building that same discipline on a funded account because it's going to be a lot different. And you need to start now. We're thinking about the new. I didn't see it.
Yo, can you quickly, really quickly, just watch the TikTok I just posted on PP Trading? I want to hear your thoughts live.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
If I could rename some trading concepts, this is what I would rename them. I would call them fair value but no-no square because I like getting my no-no square touch. Would change CISD to CMID just because it sounds funny. I would change New York AM session to Rust to like the map from Edmund.
Oh, it's really quiet now.
I would start calling lunch hour no man's land or the gulag. Instead of saying you took profits, you should say you busted a nut. Instead of saying you got stopped out, I would start saying I got hit with a belt by my dad. Because you get hit with a belt by my dad when I was younger, that's kind of what it feels like. Instead of saying I got break even, you should say.
Bro, if you're gonna laugh, don't laugh that hard. You're hurting my ears.
Elaborate on that one. I feel like it's just right. It makes sense. Instead of market structure shift, it should be super candle big. Instead of dad highs and dad lows, daddy highs and daddy lows. Liquidity should just fully be changed to dig, and instead of sweeping liquidity, it should be stroking dig. So when you're going for liquidity, you're going for a dig. And when it gets taken, it stroked the dig. It didn't sweep it, right? It stroked it.
Wow, bro, what a fucking TikTok.
Concepts.
That's fire, dog. Good shit, bro.
Did you hear the fart in the beginning?
I didn't.
Play it back so you can hear the fart.
If I could rename some trading concepts, this is what I would.
Did you hear now?
That was funny.
Yeah, that was the best part for sure.
Would change CISD to CMID just because it sounds funny.
Alright, you can keep going again. Daddy.
No, I'm done with this bullshit session, man.
Put me in? Oh my god. Wise power here. Wise power here. Wise power here. Hello?
Yo. Why are you acting like you're not excited?
Oh my god. What is this angle?
This is lit. It's like 0.5, bro.
You like it?
Dude, you look like when Walter White escaped to like the fucking freezing cold weather. And like he like I don't know how to really explain it, bro. But
Right.
wait, so you just put like your dick on the side angle?
The map from Edmund.
Yeah.
Are you on Costa Rica or India Wi-Fi?
I need to end this fucking
Me?
session. Peace out, guys.
Do you own